Someone brought this up, genetically modified fruits and vegetables. How do you feel about tomato, for instance? The genes brought from flounder, so you won't freeze and all that. By consuming those, what would happen to us?
The question is about genetic engineering, and is it something we should be concerned about? How much of an effect can it have upon us? When the topic of genetic engineering comes up, what comes to most people's minds is concern for the environment and what impact this is going to have, and what irretrievable impact, which is even more to the point. Genetically engineered food is more of a concern than exclusively just to do with the environment. It is unquestionably damaging to consume these types of foods for numerous reasons. Many of these genetically engineered crops are interfered with in such a way that they themselves are toxic to the wildlife, insects, bugs, worms that might choose to consume them. In other words, they can have a built-in pesticide. So when you're consuming that food, you are consuming those poisons which have been deliberately modified to be there to kill these creatures. Well, a poison is a poison, as Doug said, in any amount. It's whether it's a large amount or a small amount. By buying and consuming genetically engineered produce, we are making a statement with our dollar that we support the destruction of our environment and we support poisoning ourselves. I don't believe that either of those things are things that we want to be financially supporting.
Can we be sure that all organic is not genetically modified?
The question is, can we be sure all organic is not genetically modified? Largely, yes. But to be absolutely specific, no. It is possible that things can be genetically engineered and yet fall through clear enough to be awarded an organic certification. However, most growers who are concerned with growing organic food wouldn't entertain the idea of genetic engineering. So I can't say to you that by buying organic you're guaranteed not to be consuming genetically engineered food. I would say it's less likely than if you're eating non-organic produce.
I understand that genetically modified foods don't uptake certain nutrients from the soil where their non-genetically modified versions would normally.
The comment was that genetically modified foods don't take up nutrients from the soil that other non-genetically modified foods would do so. That is something that I have also read about and been aware of. The specifics and details, like to what extent, what nutrients, so on and so forth, I can't comment on because I haven't had access to that information. It's a classic example of how we can end up not only with foods that are less quality in terms of how they can provide for us nutritionally, but also how we can completely upset the mineral balance of the soil upon which we depend for all the foods that we grow. We upset